Hello everyone, this is Zeeebo and welcome to this Etheria restart video. So in today's Etheria restart video, we're gonna feature Fuqiu by a top Summit Arena ranker right here. So Buzz is my guildie and he's finding quite a fair bit of success with Fuqiu in the Summit Arena side. So in today's video, we're gonna run through a few replays shared by him kindly and talk about Fuqiu's utility in the team and how she's faring in terms of the drafting side as well as the team building side for the Summit Arena or PvP in general. So without further ado, let's go through the replays right here. So we're not going to focus too much on the builds because it's like a top player secret, but for the Fuqiu skills investment, right, if I get it correctly, he said it was 511 because for Fuqiu's kit itself, if we go into the Animus archive right here, I don't have Fuqiu right yet, but Fuqiu's prowess for the first skill itself provides speed. So I think that's why he went for a 511 build to get the most speed to get her skills up ASAP. So that's for Fuqiu's lattice investment for his own Fuqiu. As for the rest of the other units, I didn't probe too much. But right here, let's run through a few replays sent by Bust, okay? So right here, first match, this is with Holden as well as Tiamat and Sanya. So this was showcased earlier in my Summit Arena showcase for Fuqiu in the video earlier, which I'll link in the card above. I think this combo is really potent because number one, it's not weak to the attack down debuff, so it's not weak to Vice or even Viper, and at the same time, there isn't a lot of minus HP debuffs going around. So there is no way to reduce the damage output of Tiamat, and with very little defense down running around, there's also very little ways for you to slow down the offenses of Holden. So Holden as well as Tiamat is the main DPS, so Viper here for the added reduction in crit damage, and then we have the sustain of Sanya as well as Fuqiu right here. So without further ado, let's run through the battle. Okay, so this is from the opponent's view. The view of desperation. Pretty standard build, I think. This is like a Messiah with the speed buffing with Linglo as a support build. Okay. So I thought, okay, so disgusting. Oh, it's Lighthouse. Okay, Lighthouse and Blood Buff is actually really disgusting on the sustain side because one reduces the damage when it exceeds a certain threshold from the Blood Buff debuff. I mean the Blood Buff itself, and then Lighthouse has the ability to keep your units alive if the HP is low enough. And then we have this like action advance by Fuqiu right here. So this will most of the time keep your Tiamat alive, and then from there, once Tiamat comes online, you just swipe the opponent's team because they might not have enough defensive power or enough stats itself. Okay, very disgusting Buzz. Okay, so that's the first replay. So I guess the matrix effect that he's using is Blood Buff, and then we have Lighthouse and probably a whole bunch of speed. So I'm guessing it's speed plus Blood Buff itself. It could be speed plus the one with HP percentage, so that the Fuqiu actually gets the heal off more consistently or more heals off. But then if he went for 511, I think he should be running the Swift Rush so that he gets the ultimate off ASAP. Okay, so second match against Johnny Rocks right here. So pretty standard draft. Defensive draft with Fuqiu as the additional support. So it seems like Sanya and Fuqiu is pretty disgusting. Okay, so this part, let's run through the replay here. Okay, so Linglo get a buff. Okay, from the looks of it, the Fuqiu is the fastest in the team. So I'm guessing the Fuqiu might have a Swift Rush, as for the rest of the other units is probably HP percentage to maximize their damage and survival. Yeah. Okay, pretty disgusting. So the opponent is not able to burst him down because of the Blood Buff ability. The Blood Buff activating. Okay, and then there's the Lighthouse activating. So disgusting. I'm gonna start spam farming my Aurora for Lighthouse. Okay, so we have the attack down debuff, which reduces the damage potential from the opponent's team right here, and then Holden going in for the damage and the dispel and the debuff. Okay, Sanya for the heals itself. So at this point, if the Messiah doesn't kill off his team, it's GG. Yeah, it's GG. The opponent just doesn't have enough damage to go past his team because he has Viper for the damage reduction against like all the potential big damage crits, and then Holden as well as the other units, they just have a lot of HP naturally because of how they are built up, right? You want HP on Fuqiu for more shielding and obviously the heals, and then Sunny obviously HP for a lot of heals, and then Holden a lot of defense. Okay, pretty sick stuff right here. Okay, even more debuff. So yep, I guess the opponent just doesn't have enough damage to bypass him. Let's go into the next run. So let me run through my auto. So we are farming Rengokusu right here. Not the most consistent, but I want to get my lighthouse because I'm inspired by Buzz right here. Okay, so this one is with Lingluo. I think the idea is pretty similar in terms of the builds itself. Like Holden as well as Tiamat can be the cause of the team, and even Viper if the opponent doesn't have a lot of sustain. In this case, I think the Lingluo got taken by Buzz, so the opponent doesn't have that much healing choices. If you don't kill him off, he will just eventually wither you down from here. Yeah, so I guess we're gonna run through this one. So I think Lingluo is like a Sanya replacement. Okay, I think opponent actually went with a correct play of Doki Doki to play the long game, but at the same time I think he probably wanted more sustain, maybe like a healer in the slot of Freya for example. So you see the blood buff just reducing the damage output of Yeli. Insane. Okay, so now we have a benchmark of how to properly build a tanky team in terms of the PvP side. Okay, the Yeli actually does a lot of damage, by the way. This is with the defensive buffs as well as a blood buff, and the Yeli still almost killed the Fuqiu right here. Okay, so blood buff still holding on strong here. Okay, Lingluo comes online and then I think it's GG. Yeah, so I think if this guy actually bursts down the Fuqiu here, he might have a chance. But it's unlikely though, because there's still a Lingluo at the back, and then Viper comes in for that attack down, and because his team doesn't have much sustain, he will just melt. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. I think yeah, he's just gonna be stalled out by this Fuqiu slow heal plus turn meter manipulation plus 1 healer combo, because the other units, they're just built very tanky. So that's for the replay number 3 right here. So I think for the very last replay itself, I don't think we want to sort of feature it, but there's a Veronica that got banned, so it's a pretty similar setup to the previous one. In this case, I think he didn't actually go for his Tiamat. Was this before his Tiamat got built up? Let me just do a quick bit. Yeah, there is a possibility that this is either that or he was doing some weird ass tech shit with Freya from my knowledge here. So I guess that's pretty much it. Just a showcase of some Fuqiu gameplay at the highest level of Summit Arena by a top player. So thank you very much, Buzz, for sharing your replays with me. I know this is not something that top players want to share, but if you guys want to share your replays with me, feel free to do so. DM me on the game itself or just through Discord. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I think this unit is pretty strong. I guess I'll give this unit a very high rating moving forward, because I do think that this unit serves a lot of different positions for insane utility in terms of drafting for the RTA side, and from the performance of it, looking a lot better compared to Nahor. Okay, so that's it for this video. Thank you very much for tuning in. I'll see you guys again in my next video. Bye guys!